Yes, Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. We will continue with our lecture still on topic 2, this time about the project management introduction. But before that, just to recall some of our previous lectures, okay, we have seen how projects like the high-rise Pisa, Eiffel Towers and Bakundam demonstrate the construction industry's impact. So it is a sector that not only builds structures but also reflects our society's progress. We also learn about Malaysia's construction contribution to GDP and job creation, which are supported by political stability, peace, and economic growth. However, of course, the industry do faces some challenges like adopting new technologies and outdated codes. In previous lecture also, we did emphasize the importance of safety, competition from various companies, and so on. And yeah, we also covered different professional roles in building construction, from developers to consultants, contractors. Okay, they were all also outlined, and these people, personnel, professional, they are all vital for a project success. All right, so now we continue. These are the learning outcomes for topic 2 or this subsection. At the end of this module, students should be able to understand and explain definition and concept of project management, objective of project management, key indicators to define successful project, and also explain concept and basic principles of construction contract. Okay, I skipped a few definitions, but you guys please read them thoroughly later. I will just simplify some of them for this session, right? So the first term is a project. Okay? A project is a temporary work with a defined beginning and end, scope and resources aimed at creating a unique product, service or result. Okay, whatever that is produced lah. So when we include management in the project, it becomes another term, project management. So project management here refers to the practice of applying knowledge, skills and tools and techniques to project activities in order to meet the project requirements. So what requirements are we talking about? The one that I mentioned just now, the defined beginning and end, scope and also resources. And if we include construction into the term, it becomes construction project management. So this term, it refers to the process of coordinating, managing all the different aspects of a construction project from start to finish, which includes planning, budgeting, scheduling, and ensuring that the project meets any legal, quality, and safety standards. So in construction project management, usually there will be a project manager, right? So this project manager is essentially the ship's captain when it comes to leading a project from inception or from the start to the project completion. They must possess various skills, including leadership to guide and motivate the team, and also communication to clearly articulate goals and expectations, and also time management to ensure deadlines are met. Okay, so this project manager or the short form PM, they must also be adept at risk management, proactively identifying and mitigating potential issues. And lastly, the project manager must have a solid understanding of financial principles, contract procurement, and negotiation skills in order to keep the project within budget and technical skills relevant to the project's nature. All right, so project management, okay, is an organized approach which we can use to guide the project from beginning to end. It involves a series of processes starting from initiation, planning, execution, monitoring, and controlling before closing the project. So each of these steps, it ensures the project's goals are met within the set time frame and also the budget while maintaining the quality standards. But it is not a straightforward path. As you can see here, while controlling your resource, time, and budget, there might be a time when you need to make changes in planning and design, or changes in the way you execute the plan, which can be due to applying new technology, revising your method, or using different kind of material, or maybe need to hire a more skilled labor. Okay, so those things might occur. Okay, and then you need to control them again before closing the process. Okay, so this closing process also refers to finalizing all project activities and confirming that all work has actually been completed to the agreed standards as stipulated in the contract lah. And this includes obtaining the certificate of completion and compliance, normally known as CCC, conducting the handover HO from the contractor to the owner, resolving any claims for liquidated damages LD due to delays, and ensuring that all project documentation such as as-built drawings is complete and accurate. So this one we call it SDC or document control. So all these steps, okay, it ensures that the project is officially and successfully closed. That means after the project has been closed, no more claims can be made lah, in terms of payment and so on, because we already closed it. That means all parties acknowledge that the contract has been, or simply to say, no more bonding of the contract lah between these parties. Okay, so in project management, okay, these are the three very important criteria. Of course, there are also other KPI, but these three, time, cost, and quality performance, are part of a triangle where each side impacts the others. Okay, for instance, increasing the scope of project, which normally we can safely assume that it will improve the quality of the project. That one, it may require more time and increase the cost. Similarly, if we want to speed up the project to meet a quicker deadline in terms of the time, this one, it could lead to higher costs and also reduce quality, okay, of the project. And if we want to reduce the cost overall, this one, it could affect the time it takes to complete the project and the quality of the final product. Okay, so balancing these three elements is very crucial skill for a project manager, because let's say you want to reduce cost, it means you will hire less worker. But if you have less worker, it will affect the time taken to complete the project. And when that happens, if you are hiring a worker, unskilled labor, for example, that also might reduce the quality of your project. If you want to speed up the project, you hire more worker. Of course, it's simple to say we just need to hire worker, but that will increase your cost. Okay, so all these things, they are affecting each other. So that's why decision making is very crucial for the project manager. Okay, these are the major problems encountered when managing project. Some of them are here lah. All right. So the main problems in project management often include inadequate resources, which can lead to staff overextension and budget overruns. And then unrealistic deadlines may also pressure the team and affect the project's quality. Okay, unclear goals or direction can lead to confusion and misaligned priorities. And then uncommitted team members may not fully engage with the project, leading to a lack of progress. If we look at insufficient planning, okay, this one can also result in a flawed approach, while a communication breakdown, it can cause missteps and errors. So each of these issues can severely impact the successful completion of a project. This is why an experienced project manager with a good leadership and communication skills is needed. Okay, next is the second part of today's session, principles of contract. Okay, a contract is a legally binding agreement, okay, in a form of document between two or more parties that outlines their rights and obligations. In project management, these contracts are vital as they define the scope of work, delivery of timelines, payment schedules, and expected quality standards. They also detail how to manage changes, risks, and disputes. So the goal of having this contract is to ensure a precise mutual understanding of what each party is responsible for, which is essential for the smooth execution of any project. Okay, so to legally form a contract, four elements must be present: an offer, acceptance, consideration, and legality. So basically in a project, a client will send an invitation for tender submission. Okay, if you are familiar with the process, it's good. Okay, if you don't know, okay, listen carefully. A client normally send invitation for tender submission, and then all the contractors who are interested in the project, they will prepare and submit their tender documents. So this submission is known as an offer. An offer here is referring to the proposal by one party to another, indicating a willingness to enter into a contract. So when the client receives the submission and would like to appoint that specific contractor, okay, not all contractor will be selected, only specific or maybe one contractor, okay, and this is what we call acceptance, which is the agreement by the other party to the offer presented. So while they form this agreement, there must also be a consideration. This consideration, it involves something of value exchanged between the parties, such as the amount of payment and the deadline of project completion. Okay. So basically a contract must also be valid, meaning that it adheres to all legal requirements and is not for an illegal purpose. The parties must be legally competent, not just anyone, but they must be entitled to do it, meaning they have the authority and capacity to sign, okay, to sign the contract. And consent must be freely given without force. They cannot be forced to sign, and any fraud can nullify the agreement. So you cannot tell lies so that you can get his sign. It means under that condition, it is not considered a legal contract lah. And this could also potentially leading to damages. So contract conditions also, they should align with local laws, public policy, societal morals, and so on. Meaning to say, if you carry out the project, how are you going to dispose the materials, or how are you going to deal with the waste and so on, must be aligned with the local authority guidelines. Okay, so next, what makes the contract illegal? Alright, contracts that lack local authority approval include deceit, are signed under duress, or lack valid consideration. These are all problematic. Okay, any unapproved building plan, a conspiracy among contractors to create a monopoly, and contracts signed under pressure, these are all legally flawed. So there's also a contract. Okay, normally a contract must have a promise or act that constitutes valid consideration. So any empty promises or impossible promises do not count and render the contract invalid. Examples here, which include promising something that the promiser has no intention of doing, okay, or promising something that cannot realistically be completed, okay, like completing a project within a time frame that is not physically possible, or offering services beyond the promises capabilities to deliver. These are all empty promises lah. Alright, so it will not be considered valid, meaning to say it becomes illegal contract. Okay, and lastly, if a contract lacks consideration, okay, in some condition it might still be valid. Of course, yeah, consideration, as we discussed earlier, is usually required for a contract to be valid. But if it meets certain legal exceptions, like being a formal or recorded promise in writing and registered appropriately, and also it's between parties with a close relationship. Anyhow, whatever contract wants to be formed should be signed appropriately, and the parties' full legal names or titles should be clearly stated on the document. Public bodies or local authorities must also affix their official seal to the agreement. So all this will declare that the contract or the agreement becomes a valid document. Right? So, okay, to sum up, today we've covered construction project management, which is crucial to completing projects on time, within budget, and to specified quality standards, meeting client requirements. We also have touched on the project management's challenges like inadequate resources, unclear goals, and communication breakdowns. And we discussed contracts, emphasizing their essential elements such as offer, acceptance, consideration, and legality, and how contracts function without consideration in specific scenarios. I'm going to leave you with some tasks here. Okay, if we go back to slides on the major challenges in project management, that is slide from the previous slide. Okay, all the items in that slide, I want you to find example for each of them. Okay, same like previous tasks. Okay, each group, okay, you will work in a group, prepare one slide. Inside the slide, give example for each of the items related to major problems faced in project management. Okay, so I think that should be all. Submission, convert it into PDF and share it in our WhatsApp group. Alright, so that will be all. I'll see you at the next session. Thank you.